Krikor Tanakedjian. I'm from the American University of Beirut, and I'm a third year civil and environmental engineering at AUB. I'll be presenting you my project, which is called Rebuilding Aleppo. So my presentation basically consists of five main sections. The first section is called the Book of Songs, in which I talk about the rich history and culture my city has. In the second section of my presentation, I talk about the Mad Max. I call it Mad Max, in which I talk about the Syrian war and how life was affected due to the war in Syria. After that, in the third section of my presentation, which is called rubble, which means blaming God in Armenian, I talk about the earthquake and the impact it had after the war, and how the existing challenges were compounded. In the fourth section of my presentation, which is called the Wilted Roads, I share with you the profound loss and heartache experienced in my neighborhood in Aleppo. And in the final section of my presentation, I will talk about my intervention, which is building core houses using the rubble of destructive buildings in my city. So, nestled in the heart of Syria, Aleppo has graced the pages of history as one of the greatest cities of our world. With the lineage stretching back thousands of years, Aleppo has witnessed the rise and fall of empires, the ebb and flow of trade, and the convergence of diverse cultures. It was the main stop for merchants traveling on the Silk Road route that extended from the Far East to Europe. From its ancient roots as a crossroad of civilizations to its position as a thriving hub of commerce, Aleppo has been a melting pot of ideas, a cradle of art and architecture, and a haven for intellectual pursuits. Its citadel, majestic churches, mosques, and bustling souks, which are the shops, have captivated travelers for generations. A testament to Aleppo's cultural legacy is the renowned Book of Songs, which was published by Abu al-Faraj al-Asfahani in Aleppo. This monumental work stands as a testament to the city's vibrant musical heritage, capturing the melodies, rhythms, and poetic verses that have resonated through Aleppo's bustling markets and elegant palaces. The Mad Max. And all of a sudden, in 2011, in a blink of an eye, everything changed in Aleppo, leaving an indelible mark on the city and its people. Aleppo, which was once a bustling city, steeped in history and culture, was transformed into a theater of destruction and despair. The echoes of gunfire replaced the laughter that once filled the streets. The essential infrastructure, such as schools and hospitals, suffered severe damage. More than 30 million people got displaced, and almost 500,000 Syrians died. And eventually, the fabric of society was torn apart as families were forced to flee their homes in search of safety. Even though 7 years have passed since the war came to an end in Aleppo, the haunting echoes of bombs still reverberate within me. Time has not erased the memories of destruction and fear that consumed our lives during those dark days, in which innocent lives were lost, dreams were shattered, and the vibrant city was reduced to rubble. And just when we thought we had reached the limit and that everything we passed through in the past 12 years was more than enough, a tragic earthquake struck our beloved city, compounding the existing challenges and exacerbating the already dire situation in Aleppo. Buildings already weakened by bombings collapsed, further displacing families and deepening their dispersion. The earthquake, like a cruel twist of fate, seemed to mock our resilience, piling on yet another layer of tragedy. February 6, 2023, 4:17 a.m. This was the exact time I lost everything. I didn't only lose my home, my beloved mother and brother, I also lost hope and faith. I started blaming God for everything that we were going through. I was like, how could fate subject these innocent people to yet another calamity when they had already endured so much? And that's why I decided to call this section of my presentation ravaged, which means blaming God in Armenian. The wilted rose. In this section of my presentation, I want to share with you the profound loss and heartache experienced in my neighborhood, Al-Aziziyya in Aleppo. I wanted to call this section the wilted rose, tribute to the once vibrant beauty of the neighborhood, and the famous Villa Rose, a majestic gem nestled in the heart of the neighborhood. Before the earthquake, life thrived in our neighborhood. Laughter echoed through the streets as children played, and neighbors exchanged warm greetings. But then, the earthquake struck, leaving us in a shock and disbelief. My own building, a place filled with cherished memories, crumbled to the ground. Taking with it a piece of my past and my heart. And the Villa Rose, a beacon of beauty, was not spared, its walls bearing the scars of destruction. Every brick that lay scattered and every beam that splintered was a painful reminder of the fragility of life. It was as if the earth had swallowed the echoes of laughter, silenced the stories shared within those walls, and erased the imprints of countless moments of happiness. In the last section of my presentation, I want to introduce my intervention, which is going to be building core houses by utilizing the rubble of damaged buildings as the main building material. The aim of this initiative is to anchor families next to their homes which they lost due to the earthquake, and keep them rooted and provide them with a dignified shelter as they await the reconstruction of their city. The proposed method involves sorting the rubble to separate materials such as bricks, wood, concrete, or other debris. Then cleaning the sorted rubble using water and sieves to remove contaminants such as dust, dirt, or any other impurities. After that, crushing the large pieces of rubble into smaller sizes using crushers. And finally, assembling the rubble into wire cages. The nature of core houses lies not only in the practicality of the core houses, but also in the empowerment they provide. The material is readily available, and the core houses can be assembled by the community themselves, fostering a sense of ownership, resilience, and collective strength. I chose to name my intervention after someone whose resilience and courage has touched my heart deeply. Nany, my sister, whose very name signifies happiness and luck, embodies the indomitable spirit of survival. When the earthquake struck, Nany found herself trapped under the weight of rubble for 5 hours. It was a harrowing ordeal that tested her strength and endurance. But she refused to surrender to despair, and despite the devastating loss of everyone in the building, she miraculously survived, becoming a symbol of hope and resilience. Nany's survival is a testament to the power of the human spirit and the resilience that lies within each one of us. Her story serves as a beacon of hope, reminding us of the strength we possess even in the face of unimaginable adversity. Thank you.